Hey everybody. So sometimes when you have big events, there are many small things that lead up to that. And the Civil War is a major event that happened here in America. And one of the major things that kind of brought that war along was a book called Uncle Tom's Cabin. It was written by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Harriet Beecher Stowe was an abolitionist, and she had experienced she had spoke to people from Kentucky and different places that were, runaway slaves, and she found out about the abuse they had gone through. And she wrote a book called Uncle Tom's Cabin, and she wrote it from where I'm at now, which is Brunswick, Maine. So as you can see, I'm around these really nice New England houses, and I'm going to the house that she lived in when she wrote that book. So I don't know how special the house will be, but it's pretty interesting. I knew it was here and I wanted to stop. And while I'm here, I want to take a peek around Brunswick. Now, for anybody who's been following me from the beginning, which aren't many people, I think my second or third video was from Brunswick, but it's really brief. And I was on a bridge, and then I went to a park and flew my drone around, but I didn't really get a good look of Brunswick. And being here now, I kind of like the town, I wanted to spend some time here. So let's go check out this house and see if it's significant in any way, if it's cool, or if it's just another house that Harriet Beecher Stowe wrote from. When she met with President Lincoln, he said, so this is the woman who started the Great War, which was a civil war. That book basically talked about the atrocities of slavery and pissed off a lot of Northerners, and definitely pissed off Southerners because, to them, slaves weren't people and weren't worthy of you recognizing their suffering. So here is the house. This is it. So Harriet Beecher Stowe lived here in this white house with green shutters. It's a pretty nice looking house. Also, here's a little note. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow lived here before her. He was a famous American poet. He wrote, I believe it's called The Ride of Paul Revere or something like that. And that's it. So this was built in 1806, and Harriet Beecher Stowe came here because her husband was a professor at local Bowdoin College or Bowdoin. I don't know. If you know how to pronounce that, let me know. I've only read it, but it's a college town here. And he encouraged her to write, and so she wrote. She was already published before she came here, and this is where she wrote Uncle Tom's Cabin. And then when she left here, she went to Massachusetts. So I'm going to stop at a few places, and we'll see what else is cool around the town. So let's go. So I thought while I head to the next stop, I'd give you a little peek of the town, so you can see some of these older buildings here. Pretty cool looking, if you ask me. But I don't know what architectural style this is called, but it looks pretty New England-y. So here's a new term for you, New England. But check these out. They're really nice looking. So this town has been here since the late 1700s, and it originally had a different name. I don't recall, but I'll put it up on the screen. But it was the original name that the original inhabitants had, which were the Wabanaki Confederation. Now, I mentioned the Wabanaki Confederation a few times, but they weren't actually a confederation at first. They were loosely related, and they had similar cultural traditions, but they only came together after contact with Europeans. This place right here, I happen to have filmed also before, called the Barter House Art. That was maybe my first or second video. I'll try to post that if I get a chance. Here's another place that I've been to before, but to most of you who are new to my channel, probably never saw it. When I started my video, when I started this channel, I had very few followers. But this is the, I think it's called Androscoggin Swinging Bridge. Yeah, and it's over this river here, and so it swings. And I'm gonna see if I can capture it. But it's a National Historic Site. So, oh, I can feel it. If you can, I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see it moving a little bit, but it is. And it's over this beautiful river. Now apparently Maine is having a mild winter. So there's not as much snow and all that other good stuff out here as I would have thought there was. I mean, here I am walking with a open jacket. You know, I've seen people in t-shirts and shorts actually. But this is the bridge. We're gonna walk to the end of it. This takes you from one neighborhood to the other. You got people over here just chatting, doing their thing. Now, historically, Brunswick was a shipbuilding place. A lot of captains, a lot of shipbuilders came from here. And then there's also an intellectual aspect that comes from the college here. And it's said that this was a stop on the Underground Railroad. There was a lot of abolitionists who came from this area, and there was the abolitionist sentiment here. Look at the ducks down there chilling. And apparently there were, even in the northern states, there was slavery a long time ago. And there may have been some in Brunswick, but there's none documented that I could find. But this was probably the early late 1700s, maybe mid. And at around the 18th century, that was mostly gone. And most people were not slave owners, and some of them were abolitionists. So I'm gonna walk down closer to the river and see what kind of view of the bridge we can get. These rocks are sliding, so let me try to come down from this dirt part. I don't know how secure this is. If I slip and fall, you guys don't laugh. This is the one time I don't want you commenting saying anything in the comments if I fall. So I'm gonna make my way down here. The dirt is kind of wet, and I probably have no business going down here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Whoa. Whoa. All right. So there you go. There is the Androscoggin Bridge. And it's pretty cool. Looks secure. And when I say swinging, it's not like it's swinging back and forth like like it's just loose. You know, like one of those bridges you might think of in like Indiana Jones, made of cloth. It's made of steel, but it's pretty sturdy. I'm gonna head up and we're gonna go check something else out here in Brunswick. Let's check it out. Let's go. Now check this out. This is called a submarine hunter. It's a P8. Now, I don't know much about it, but it's in front of this museum here, the Brunswick Naval Aviation Museum. This place used to be NAS Brunswick, Naval Air Station Brunswick, and it hosted, thousands and thousands of sailors who were here to support these submarine hunters. And so these things would fly over the sea and use whatever means of technology to find submarines. So I'm just gonna walk around here, and then I'm gonna take a quick run through this museum, because this is a part of Brunswick history also. And so I wanted to check it out. So this is had propellers. It's a pretty big plane. Yeah. So let's walk under here and see what we never walked under a plane before. Now I have. Look at that. Here's all the squadrons or units that belonged here. Here's where the landing gear is. Let's take a little peek under there. Yeah, that's where the landing gear would go. I can't imagine this place is all that big, so we'll do a little quick run through, and then we'll see some more Brunswick. Hey everybody, so I am in the, this is the Brunswick Air Museum?
Brunswick Naval Aviation Museum.
Brunswick Naval Aviation Museum, and I'm here with Larry. And so he was part of multiple squadrons here. He served for 10 years here, and he's going to briefly explain. Now, if you see, there's the museum here, and it kind of walks you through the history, but he's going to explain what this Naval Air Station did, and maybe some of the planes that were here. What was life like here as a
Oh, it was great.
sailor?
We had a picture of the area when it was in its heyday. The barracks were all kind of aligned around where the chow hall and barber shops, exchanges, stores of almost every kind you can get, gas station. All of that was right handily on the base. It's like a small city. Lots of hangars, and each squadron that was stationed here typically consisted of 300 to 350 people in all kinds of different jobs. They had mechanics, we had dentists, doctors, corpsmen.
So anything you'd need to run a small town.
Absolutely. It was like a small town, and everything that a ship would typically have, we would have too. The first time I got here was like in 1973. And I was attached to a Patrol Squadron 44. And I actually worked at the Aircraft Intermediate Maintenance Department.
Now, is that your patch on your right shoulder?
Yep, this is the patch of VP-44.
Oh, cool.
The Golden Pelicans.
Now, did you enjoy being here in Brunswick?
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you live here now?
I still do.
So you got out and decided to stay. That's how much you liked it here.
Yeah, I retired in 1989, and I went to work for what was then the number 2 computer company in the country, Digital Equipment Corporation.
What was life like here as a sailor in this town here in New England?
Again, it's a college town. There's lots to do in the way of hiking, fishing, outdoor type of things. We even had a small ski slope over, I think, in the Topsom area at one time. So there was a large amount of people going in and coming out of the Naval Air Station on a daily basis. The base itself came about and was a joint venture between the federal government and the state of Maine. Back in the 1930s, 1935 to be exact, they came out and They said, we need a municipal airport here in Brunswick.
And you mentioned this airport here was one of the first in Maine?
Very first in New England, really.
Very, very first in New England.
Yeah, everybody wanted to fly jets. So the United States Navy saw an opportunity. We can get these birds and we can make some modifications to them. They took about 8 feet of fuselage out of the front, and they added a magnetic anomaly detector in the back. That's for detecting disturbances in the magnetic field. When you're flying over the ocean and you're flying over a target like a submarine, this thing will basically start sounding bells and whistles, notifying you that there's something down below. The base actually started to see a wane in activity from submarines. Later on, the base was targeted by the Bragg Commission for closing permanently. So that occurred in 2005.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing this with me.
I didn't mean to take so much time.
Oh, no, it's really interesting, and I'm sure my viewers will be interested.
Yep.
So I did the flight simulator, and they gave me these wings. I'm not that great at flying F-18s, but it was fun. Actually, I did pretty good flying, but the landing is the issue. He warned me. He recommended I get a airplane that was easier to fly and land. But when I started landing that F-18, I didn't realize that my speed wasn't fast enough to take back off. So I lifted my nose because I thought I was at the wrong angle, and basically I'm dead. So let's go check out a little bit of Brunswick, and then let's get out of here. I'm not gonna spend much more time here, but I just saw this little cool old section, so I wanted to check it out. So look at these houses here. These are cool. Pauline's Bloomers. What's that about? It's a nice little park here. And some cool old houses. These houses have probably been here since the beginning. Well, the beginning of colonization in this area. Brunswick is named after the House of Brunswick, which served, I guess, King George, who I think is the dude who was over the 13 American colonies. Okay, so you see this here. I don't know if you can see these words from here. Pejepscot History Center. Pejepscot, I believe, was the original name of this area. And now, again, that was the original name that the natives had for it. If you're coming up the East Coast and you're on Amtrak, I believe this stop here in Brunswick will be your last stop. And it's the last stop up the East Coast. So if for some reason you decide you want to get on Amtrak and take it from one end to the other, this is the town you're going to end up in. Yeah, pretty wide streets. I wonder if the streets were originally this wide. I'm going to cross here and let me give you a good view of the Main Street here. So this is the Main Street. And these buildings don't all look super old. Some of them do. We're gonna walk down and take a little peek. There's a banner up there, Longfellow Days. I guess that's February, Longfellow Days, which we know that Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was a poet from Maine and New England. And they kind of celebrate and honor his work here. Broadway Delicatessens. Gulf of Maine. Cool as a moose. What do they have in there? It looks like they have some souvenirs and stuff. Now, I've been driving all around here, all around the state. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I've been to more of Maine than some Mainers. Now, I've yet to see any wildlife. I was hoping to see a moose or something cool like that, you know, off the highway or something, but no such luck. You know, the time I run into some wildlife will be when I'm not looking for it and I'm not in the safety of my vehicle. Then somebody's gonna have to help me change my pants at that time, because I don't think I'll be too prepared for that. So we got a German-American cuisine. Look at this old building, Vault Alarm. This is an old bank. It's Bank of America now. They have something old up there. I guess that goes off if they have some sort of security issue. So this block is not very long. We got different cups and dishes here. Classic New England stuff, I guess. Crooked Keg Brewing. A lot of brewing companies up here. If you like to drink, this might be your spot. Brunswick Savings Institution. So I didn't mention some of the demographics here. So there are about 15,000 people, at least as far as since 2010, 15,000 people. Could be a little more or less, but I can't imagine it be a dramatic change. And as far as the racial makeup, it's 93% white, which is no surprise. It's not the most diverse state here. And what we got? 1.7% African American. Bombay Mahal, award-winning Indian cuisine since, I don't know since when, but it's Maine's oldest Indian restaurant, 1991. I mean, sounds kind of challenging to believe, but I'll go ahead and believe them. So if you enjoyed the video, press the like button. That's the best way to support the channel. Comments below. I love hearing from you guys. Send me some messages. Tell me what you think about the video. I want you guys to get outside. If you can't, come along with me. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.